Well, here we are. We are live again, and we're here to laugh for about 10, maybe 12 minutes.
That's right. We need to have our weekly therapy session on whatever it is top of mind, and today it's ghosting.
Ghosting. Yes. Okay. The perfect ghosting. I laughed my head off. I still laugh my head off thinking about this because this woman literally posts on LinkedIn just 2 lines, just basically the ultimate insult. The client doesn't show up, but their AI note taker does. And why? That's the ultimate insult. I mean, it's just like, all right. Yeah.
Well, this ties into
about that one.
This ties into like a whole bigger issue of ghosting as a whole. We could cover ghosting anywhere from the dating realm to friends to hiring to showing up to meetings. Ghosting is like, it's almost like an epidemic in itself. We could also take this in a completely other direction of how do you feel about note takers in meetings, and do you have different criteria for when you want or allow note takers versus when you don't?
Oh, that's a good question too. I mean, that's kind of something that people can chat in the chat. Do you want AI note takers in your meetings? And why or why not should those be happening? And also, yeah, we could take this in the direction of, the original beginnings of ghosting. I mean, when you didn't have to meet in person and you emailed, you just didn't have to respond. And we saw basically this attitude about ghosting and being able to hide behind digital. I don't know about you, Mel. I saw that in the first, and we're not going to get political, but in the first United States election that was won on social media, and I won't say what year that was. Because it doesn't matter. But what did people do? I could say whatever the crap I wanted, and then I could just unfriend you.
and that also created, social media as a whole allows people to create an online persona as opposed to an offline persona. And then the psychological effects that causes, within the person, but also within your community, because you truly are at that point two totally different people.
Yeah.
I'm curious, do you have different rules for when you want AI note takers in your meetings or not?
The only time I will ask people to not put an AI note taker in is when we're going to be discussing sensitive information, personally identifiable information. Other than that, I don't really care if an AI note taker is in, because many are trying to be more efficient by dropping tasks down, and they're trying to focus heavily. But I have found personally, I grew up in an era, it dates me. I grew up in an era where we learned to actually type. And because we learned to type, I type at a gazillion words a minute. And I find that I actually focus more when I'm typing on people than when I'm my mind drifts when people are just talking. And I'm not actively taking notes, but I had been told in some meetings, wow, you're taking notes, you're not paying attention to us. And it was like,
what?
So then I had to qualify it at the beginning. I'm like, I concentrate more when it commits it to memory more when I actually have my hands typing their words at exactly the same time they're saying it. It's the way that I do those things. But I am guilty. I'm struggling with managing all the tasks in my business. And the AI note takers will create these tasks that I can then go and automate workflow to make sure that in our weekly meetings and our huddles and stand-ups and whatever we're doing, that it just sends automatically out to the team members their next steps. And the nice thing about AI is that you can actually, you can get an agent, or you can work through your own workflows I think you were telling me yesterday, Mel, that you were having an argument with ChatGPT,
Yes,
which I argue with it all the time.
we were having a lover's quarrel, and I was quite pissed. I had to get up and walk away.
Yeah.
No matter what I told it, we agreed on something. We said we were going to do something, and then it would hallucinate. And then I'd bring it back, and it would say, yes, I'm going to do that and stick to that. And then it would hallucinate again. I'm like, what is going on?
Well, honestly and truthfully, sometimes you get so good at it that you just don't even, you forget that it's a tool that's going to have moments of what? And sometimes I will literally say to ChatGPT, I'm sorry, we're going to have to continue this conversation. Feeling better. And it comes back and says, I think you're correct.
I sent the text that I sent to you to another friend, and his response was, you should really tell ChatGPT how you feel. I'm like, I'm too pissed to tell him how I feel. I need to just get up and walk away right now.
That's when I get it on my phone and pull up the whole thing, and I just voice text it and say, I'm very angry with you right now. And it was so funny because I mean, it's so off topic and random, but the reality is we're in that reality, right? I mean, we're in this Star Trek reality where it's like, computer, tell me how many algorithms and outcomes. And I always laugh on LinkedIn when there's all this, I need trained in AI. And I'm like, just go watch a Star Trek episode. Just go watch a Star Trek episode. You know how to prompt because you know how to prompt. And I was actually at my nail lady, and she's like, yeah, I think I need, and she's a lot younger than I think I need to take a course in AI and ChatGPT, because I have a friend who said that they did their entire trip using ChatGPT. And I said, here's your course. I pulled out my phone, spoke to it, gave her the answer about her nail place with all the data in the area about pricing and everything. And she went, wow, I can do that. And I was like, yeah. And she's like, well, I'd have to do the paid version. And I'm like, no, you can just copy and paste it into a Word doc and then paste it back in later and say, review what we were just talking about and go back in. And you could totally skip around it. Although I have the paid version for many reasons, but I'm just saying, but the ghosting, getting back to the original topic of the ghosting, and when to let a guy in. I didn't ask you. When do you let the note taker in, and when is it ghosting for you?
Well, it drives me crazy to receive the email notifications that so-and-so's note taker has joined my room even after the meeting has already been canceled. But at this point, it's I just ignore it. The general rule of thumb that I do is a very first meeting, I don't allow note takers in. I feel like we're constantly recorded. We're constantly being documented, that I want some authentic time with a person.
Sure.
So
yeah.
And
Definitely.
like you, I do the same thing. I think better when I'm actually taking notes. If I just have to sit there and it drives me crazy. And I end up ignoring everything and seeing, oh, here's my checklist. I have to do this today and that today and this today and that today. Oh, wait, you're still talking? Okay. So I prefer that. I also, with client meetings, because sometimes sensitive topics are brought up, by default, I don't bring it in. I would rather invite the note taker in as opposed to assume it's going to be there.
I agree.
I had one woman that I met with very first time. She actually spent the first 15 minutes of a 30-minute meeting arguing with me about note takers. And I'm like, if this is that important to you, then how about you just don't have a meeting? Because I don't know if
we could just put our note takers together.
Yeah, really, because I don't know that it's worth my time or my data storage to record this meeting and to take notes on it. So why would I waste that? And I want to be able to feel an authentic connection with you, not worry about every word I'm saying and open it up for judgment. So let's connect first and then have an in-depth conversation where I'm totally good with bringing in a note taker, because then it's of value. Then we're going to have action items. Then we're trying to figure out how we can collaborate or work together or take next steps. That makes sense to me. But if it's just a meet and greet, what do you need a note taker for?
At the end of the day, I think it would depend on the meeting. And when I went to note taking, I was thinking more of something that, we do have virtual assistants, and English is the second language.
Yeah.
And as much as I really struggle sometimes with the note takers, they rely on it. They rely on the video, and they rely on being able to review it very slowly. I feel like I talk slowly, but they say I talk really fast. And
we both talk very fast, and I've heard the same thing.
Yeah. And I could say the same thing if I'm in Mexico or France or all over the world. If they were talking, I would be going,
yes.
Huh? So I find that for the language translation aspect, but I think we're both saying, maybe ask, and it depends on what type of meeting it is, as
That's
kind of
very
rounding it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very much what type of meeting is it? And if somebody needs it because of a language barrier, I am A-okay with it. I just don't want to always feel like I'm being recorded on the spot for no reason. And I just realized we never introduced ourselves. So as we wrap up, I am Melanie Asher. This is Valerie Cobb, and we are your co-hosts for Mindsetaholics. in the comments below, remember to like, share, subscribe, and tell us when, how, why you feel about ghosting. And and I just totally forgot what they're called.
And AI note takers. When you should allow an
totally went blank.
Yeah. Have a great day.
Alrighty, see ya.